The Oval, only on its finest voices, spreading knowledge, inspiration, and awareness to the campus at large, with a splash of campus entertainment and entertainment news. Where could you go wrong? This is The Oval.
Hello, and welcome to The Oval. So tonight we're going to talk about everything from politics to entertainment. But before we jump into it, how's everybody doing? And Imani, welcome back.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Did you see the Joker movie? There's like a lot of controversy about that and like the violence about the Joker and like how it's related to mass shootings these days. I'm like, I see where they're coming from, but I feel like DC or Marvel, I don't know which one it's under, just wants to like show how the Joker became the Joker. I don't think it should be a bunch of like, mass shooting and stuff like that.
I definitely think it just follows his own backstory too, and like that came far before like anything that was happening with the mass shooting.
Yeah, I just saw the movie. I actually just saw the Joker on Thursday on opening night. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was like very well done, and like Joaquin Phoenix, the guy who portrayed the Joker, was like fantastic. I think it's a very like kind of like depressing and sick movie, but I think it's like a movie that will have an audience and is a very interesting topic to kind of touch upon. I don't think that we should like stray away from any kind of topics in the media. I think that it's good to have an open forum and have a movie, a superhero movie that can bring about, you know, questions of like mental illness and depression and things like that. Yeah, I loved it though. I would definitely go check it out. Yeah. What about anybody else? Anything else new and interesting this week?
It's the beginning of October. I know we're segueing from that warm weather. I know at home last week it was literally 90 degrees on Wednesday, and then yesterday it was like 50. So we're seeing that segue even from like summer outfits and summer, like, you know, Insta posts and everything into fall, which actually reminds me of something I just saw on Instagram. This girl tweeted about something that happened to her when she was applying for a job. So she was applying for a job. Of course, I had the name of the business on the tip of my tongue and I forget. But she applied, and then I think she mentioned her experience with social media and like advertising or marketing, something like that. So they found her social media and found a post that she had from, I guess, the summer. She was in the pool in a bathing suit, a little bit of her midriff showing, a little bit of under boob, not gonna lie, but it's her Instagram. And they actually took the photo and put it on their story. And they were like, if you are applying for a job, like, they pretty much were like, this is not something you should have on your social media. Like, and they said something along the lines of, you can continue being your bad self, but consider that might, you know, prohibit you from getting a job. It's like, whoa, the girl tweeted, she was like, I feel objectified. And you know, she was baffled, and rightfully so. So what do you guys think?
I think that this is a perfect example of when patriarchy and doing things for their male gaze doesn't have to come from someone who's identified as a man, because I believe like we're all guilty of patriarchy in one way or another. Because I saw the exact post you were talking about. One, posting her. It's one thing if you disapproved of her outfit choice. That's one thing. Keep it to yourself. Don't hire her. That's a lawsuit because now she can sue you for defamation because you posted her stuff online and tried to embarrass her and discredit her name. Two, there's nothing like a lot of people have this really weird notion where they really just people legitimately cannot understand that other people wear certain clothes for themselves. In the summer, I literally, like, if I'm wearing a button down, it will be like 2 buttons button. I'll have it all open, but I don't want someone to come over and like touch my chest. You know, like that's for me. That's just how I want to present myself. And one, I think that we shouldn't be judging female sexuality. Like, show off your body, do what you want as long as you're in control, and that's how you feel comfortable. And then to like try to sexualize the photo and stuff, and like. I think it came from like a really, really nasty place, and it's definitely a business that I wouldn't want to do business with, and I don't think anyone would want to apply to now. It's horrible. I'm really sorry that she had that experience, but hopefully she gets some type of justice. So.
Yeah, I hope so. I actually heard that a lot of people are even trying to reach out, because it went viral, so a lot of people are trying to reach out and even help her find another job, because obviously she's looking for something. I mean, I can't even imagine how humiliated she must feel.
Oh my gosh, like opening that up and seeing that, or like having it like exposed like that, like how dare you? I mean, I get like your own social media, if you want to like make it professional, but other than that, it's an outlet for you, you know, and like the picture wasn't even that like bad, you know what I mean? It wasn't anything that you don't see like on a normal basis.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I feel like I can understand the root of the opposing argument. People should have, especially when you're applying to a job, you want to appear as professional. And that's across the board, I'd say. I mean, since I was 16, I'm working at a pizzeria, but they still, I'm sure, want to see a bit of professionalism, you know? But it's her private, like, social media. We're at a time in the world where, like, everybody has social media. You know, who I am is not, like, who I am at work is not who I am with my friends. Let's be real, I don't even have the same voice. I'm like, hi, like, when I pick up the phone, how are you?
Have that
You know what I
customer
mean?
service
Exactly.
voice.
So if I'm a good candidate in every other fact of the matter, why do you care what bathing suit I'm wearing in a pool in the summer that I posted for myself? You know? I don't know.
Emphasis on pool and summer.
Right.
And it's just it's not the way to go about like letting her know that that's not okay too. Like it would be one thing if like they emailed her and was like, listen, like if you want to work for us, like you have to be professional like this, but like they just exposed her completely and embarrassed her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was definitely wrong of them to do what they did. And hopefully she can find a job, and you know we wish her all the best of luck in that. So right now we're gonna take a quick short break. We'll be right back with you guys. Welcome back to the Oval. Last week, Amber Geiger, a former Dallas police officer who killed her unarmed black neighbor after walking into his apartment and mistaking it for her own, has been sentenced to prison for 10 years. So, what do you guys think about this whole thing? 10 years seems a little low to me. I don't really know, Adora, what do you think about this?
10 years. I feel like if the shoe was on the opposite foot, it wouldn't be nearly as low as that. He would get life imprisonment, right?
Yeah.
I feel like police brutality is just increasing and increasing in the way it's been acted out. Like with Eric Garner was the I can't breathe. Now it's like forcing yourself into people's homes and it's a mistake. I don't know. It's a touchy subject to talk about, but I don't know. What do you think, Johnny? Oh.
I'm just like I just want to laugh, like, and not from like a place of like humor, but just like it's just so irrational and like, like how do you kill someone in their apartment and get 10 years in excuse me, I was about to curse, 10 years in jail? Like, what value does that put on the life of that person? And like growing up, my dad always would tell me, he'd be like, "What's the most disposable thing in America?" And I would be like, "Trash," and he would always respond, he'd be like, "No, it's a black body." And like, I'm just what? Like, how? And I don't know. I'm just at a loss for words.
I feel like she's definitely being protected, like 100%, and that just shows like even the pictures of like the trial and everything. Like it just makes me so mad because you could just see in her face that she knows she'll be protected too in a way. Like she knows that, like, because I remember seeing like a week ago, I think it was like a week ago, that she was gonna be sentenced to life. Like that was the initial thing, and then all of a sudden like 10 years. Like there are people that go to prison for marijuana possession or selling marijuana for 40 or more years, and this is just, it's a life. She took someone's life, and it was, if it was an accident or not, like you walked into someone's apartment and you took their life, 10 years is not enough. I don't care if you're a police officer. And
this is like a consistent thing that keeps happening. It's not like this is one, it's like, no, there are so many like sentences, and like cops will get like probation or they'll get fired. And that's it. And that's absolutely ridiculous. Like wipe away everything, like you said, like that's one person killing another person for 10 years in their own apartment. That does not make sense at all to me.
I'm not gonna lie, I know people say like, oh, ignorance is bliss, and I know to ignore big issues in the world isn't always good. I'm not gonna deny the fact that when this first happened, I was like, I'm gonna look into it a little bit, and I'm so angry, I'm gonna back off. Because what the
right
hell?
To do that.
What the hell?
Every right to do that. That's protecting your health.
So I'm not gonna lie, I did not dig too deep into this, but I think the basic things I'm wondering or even thinking is like, how do you mistake it for your own apartment? What was going on? Were you drunk? Is there something wrong? I don't know. Like, how do you mistake what? Also, don't you need a key to get into your house?
I think his door was
maybe.
Cracked open.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe there are like details that I missed because I actually didn't read up on it too much because it was stupid. But that's one of my biggest things. How do you mistake that for your own apartment? Also, the the woe is me that was happening. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I hope you're sorry. I would imagine that if, you know, you're a human with a heart and at least half a brain, you'd be sorry that you killed somebody.
You can tell the difference between like being sorry and being actually upset and begging too. Like that just looked like, it reminded me of a child who like was obviously guilty of whatever that child did, but was begging for like this judge to be like, please, like I'm just like a white police officer, like I don't mean any harm. Like it doesn't matter if you mean any harm. You did harm.
You get a nice hug from the judge afterwards. And,
that.
You know,
that
people saying, well, she wouldn't hurt anybody. She's such a great person.
I'm like,
we don't know that.
There's so many things that I question, and then I can't help but be like so sickened by. Like, what the hell? That's really my only like phrase that I can say is what the hell? Because I mean, you change a few details in the story and how much of the outcome changes. Think about it. You know, what if, again, the shoe around the other foot? That's just one thing to think about, let alone like everything else. But
yeah. Well, all right, we're going to take a quick short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. We're here with our political host, Dovonne Adams. Dovonne, what do you got for us, man?
All right, so today we're going to talk about the impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump. As you all know, on like September 24th, Nancy Pelosi, who's the Speaker of the House, decided to announce an official investigation into President Trump. I mean, we all know a lot has been adding up to this, but I guess what pushed her decision was his dealings with Ukraine and his decision to like apparently try to get dirt on Joe Biden, who's running against him for president in the 2020 election. So what do you all think about that? You have any thoughts about it?
I'm sure we all have some
That was a sigh of a lot of thoughts.
I think that's the issue. Where do we start?
Well, like we were just talking about before we started rolling, we were just saying that like, why didn't this happen like 2 years ago? Like we're at the end of Trump's term and we're finally making this decision. Like to me, it's like, is it proving something, or is it like kind of giving him satisfaction of saying, okay, I made it this long anyway, and he's just gonna...
I mean, he's been threatening like a civil war if he's impeached, and I think he's honestly happy that they did that, because if they turn out not to come up with any valid information to provide an impeachment, then it's just gonna make the Democrats look bad, and it's gonna make him potentially look better, which honestly is bad for anybody. Because we all know what Trump's been doing for the last 3 years. I can't even believe it's been 3 years already. That kind of went by super quick.
Yeah.
But I also know like they've been there. I know they're trying to like get it done quickly, because normally it could take about 4 months. But given that 2020 is about 4 months away, so the campaigning and stuff is happening right now for elections, they're probably going to want to try to get it done quicker. But as you were just saying, which I didn't even know, if a president is impeached, they can still run for re-election. So what's the point? What do you think?
Exactly. That I actually was going to bring that up. So I'm glad you did. Because I feel like, like we were saying, what is the point of that? Why are you impeaching him at that point? If he could just run and, you know, potentially win again. I mean, let's be realistic. It might hurt a lot of us, a lot of other people to think about. He has a following still. You know what I mean? It's not like his shot of winning is completely null and void. You know what I mean? Like, he could potentially win, especially if you have so many Democratic nominees who like kind of run up against each other. They kind of all like what's the word I'm looking for? Cancel each other out. So you're gonna have Donald Trump just like climbing their ladder again back to the presidency, and I don't know how Trump's playing with that.
Yeah, honestly,
why is that a thing?
What I'm thinking about the next election coming up is that at this point, from what I've seen, is that Trump is on his way. Like he is genuinely on his way to a second term, and it doesn't look like there's a Democratic candidate at this point who can really stop this man, honestly, which is crazy. It's crazy because when he got elected, like, half of America was shocked, like shocked. I'm still somewhat in shock. It's just crazy that a reality TV show star can be the president. It's very wild, but he genuinely is on the track to be in there for a second term. So impeachment very well may be the only opportunity to get him out.
But honestly, here's my feeling on it. even if he is impeached, like the House provides the impeachment, the Senate is still required to hold the trial and everything. And we all know the Senate is majority run by Republicans, and none of them have really expressed to try to even remove him from office. And honestly, I feel like most people think that if he's removed from office, it would do more harm than good to the country, because it's just going to prove even more of a divide. Because let's be honest, a good majority of the country still supports him, like everybody's been saying. So, yeah.
I think like what this boils down to is go out there and register to vote, because we need the younger people to be the ones that come up and make those decisions, because a majority of the reason why Trump was elected was because the percentage of people that voted were above like 60 years old. Yeah. And do you want, is that who you want to make your choices? Like, if you want to make a change, you have to be registered. You have to register, and you have to fill out those forms, do the extra steps so that you can vote in your own town while you're here, you know? And I know it's a pain in the butt, but there are people set up on campus to do that. You can go to the poli-sci department and get a form. They will help you out with that, and that's just really important, because you need to start local in order to make a big difference national.
I'm going off of what you were saying. I think exactly, I was literally going to say the same thing, but also just like, especially the younger people watching, just know, like, you don't have to be a Republican, you actually don't have to be a Democrat. I'm a member of the Green Party. It's the party that works the best for me. The reason why I like it so much is that pretty much like they really stand for racial equality, environmental justice, equal pay for women, all issues that like are really dear and near to my heart, and they do it a lot more than Democrats are, because a lot of people don't realize that Democrats and Republicans actually agree on a lot of things. Yep. It's just like those small, big issues that you see all the time that they don't. So I really just want to encourage you, you don't have, because I really think that, especially when we look at other governments, having a two-party system is what's really like corrupting us all, because it's like, well, if they don't get it, then they don't get it, and they don't get it, and they don't get it. It's like, during the presidential election when he was running, we had a young woman in my class from Germany, and she said, well, in Germany we have 5 parties, so this is really weird to me. So just know you don't have to be Republican, you don't have to be Democrat, just look it up. You could be independent, you could be a Green Party member, you could be a Tea Party member. There's a whole bunch of parties.
Just vote.
Just vote. Do something.
Register and vote.
And don't be scared to get into local government. Do not be scared to get into local government. You could be to be president, you have to be 35, but actually for like to be like a senator or to be like a House representative, there's certain positions that you don't have. The age limit is only like 21. So if you are like 26 or something, you want to go out there and do it, please.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Don't just do what your parents are saying. Please, for the love of God.
Do your research
and make your decision.
Read a book.
Have logic and facts behind it, and then everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
You don't have to fall into a category, but you do have to make your voice heard if you want your voice heard.
Yeah, 100%, go out and vote there. People die for this right to vote.
Yep.
We have to use it.
Yeah.
So after our break, our entertainment host is going to be joining us, so stay tuned.
Mouth watermelon.
Welcome back. We're here with Jada Jackson bringing us our Monday Tea special. What you got?
Okay, so we're going to acknowledge that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and also my birthday month. Woo! But with it being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so Matthew Knowles, who is the father of Beyonce and Solange, he sat down with Michael Strahan on ABC Good Morning America last Wednesday to talk about his breast cancer diagnosis. And I found this out on Instagram, so when I was in the comment section, I live in the comment section, so people were saying how men got breast cancer? Oh my God. So like I was telling you guys earlier, like it's just like a fat tissue that we have. It's just with women, it's like perfectly placed. And men can so have breast cancer. They say 460 of them die in the United States each year, and 2,200 of them are diagnosed. And what I really enjoyed about like watching the interview was that he said that things that used to be important to him are like not as important, and he said he exercises and he meditates now, so like he has this whole outlook on life. And not making this too much about Beyonce and Solange, but he did say like it's genetics and they do have like a higher chance of getting it and like it going to like the grandchildren. So he said like when he was diagnosed, he called them and they did the right thing as of getting tested. But like what do you guys have to say about like the ignorant people that's like, oh, men can have breast cancer? Like I didn't know. I thought that was a woman thing.
I feel like there are two sides of the ignorance. So there is like, I don't know how to put it. I feel like there's a good and a bad side. We'll narrow it down to that, right? So there are people who genuinely just didn't know, but they don't mean, you know, anything negatively, like what men can have breast cancer. You know, they just are, there are some people who just literally don't know certain things, which is okay. But I think upon that, like finding out things you don't know about, I feel like you should take the time. I mean, we all, for the most part, have a smartphone in our pocket. Use Google. I ask my parents all the time. I'm like, how do you guys, I Google probably 200 things a day. I'm not even kidding. Like dumb things, even like the dumbest thing, like,
it's a computer in your pocket.
I was Googling Taco Day the other day. You know what I mean? It's like, who comes up with Taco Day? But like things like that, seriously, if you have something in your pocket at the tip of your fingers that you sit here and you say, oh, I didn't know men can have breast cancer. Google it. Read up on it, you know what I mean? Like, broaden your horizons, learn new things. I feel like there's less of an excuse now than there was, let's say, 30 years ago to be so ignorant about certain things.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely is shocking, like the amount. You know, because as you said, like I know there's this song by Lil Dicky. It's called Oh Well, and he like talks about how I have this phone in my pocket and I can literally figure out every single thing about this phone, everything about the entire world, all this information at my fingertips. Yet we're just scrolling through, looking at, you know, who had brunch where. You know what I mean? And we don't really use this gift that we were given. Yeah.
I feel like back to the breast cancer topic, I think there's a stigma with men, like they don't go to the doctor, they don't take their health serious, and they don't get checked. So that probably puts it in perspective for like older men.
Right.
Like get your prostate checked, get your mammogram for women. Like just take your health more seriously. Like take your vitamins. We only have one body, so we should just cherish it, you know?
Yeah, and that's one thing he said like he had to worry about now. He said he had to worry about pancreatic, mammogram, and prostate, and then now it being breast cancer, because like it's so rare for men to, you know, have it. And you know, he said that when going to the doctor, not a lot of men go, and like women do. And you know, I've heard people online say that men having breast cancer should be looked as like more important than women having it because it's rare, and it's like the mortality rate for black men and women is like higher than white women and men or whatever. But I'm like, with that, I don't know, that was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh,
more women die of breast cancer.
Rate is higher. Like,
yeah.
So you tell me, if I get breast cancer, I'm more likely to be fatal than you? Like, I didn't get it.
I mean, with that does sound kind of weird. But I do know, like, with certain illnesses, like sickle cell, like you're more likely to get sickle cell if you're black or you're Latino and stuff. But in terms of like the aggressiveness of the disease, I think once you get a disease, it's a disease.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think going back to what you were saying, I actually had a friend one time. He didn't know that straight people could get HIV or AIDS. Like he legit did not know. He had no idea. And like when I looked, I was like, you didn't know that? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, I can't be mad at you because one, the information was never brought to your attention. Me personally, I didn't find out that men could get breast cancer until like I was like 14 watching TV. And it was a news story about a man who was a breast cancer survivor. He was doing like the runs and stuff. And I literally, my mom used to work in the medical field. I'm like, Mom, men can get breast cancer. She's like, you have breasts, idiot, from the kitchen. Like, you're like, if it mutates the wrong way, you can get cancer. Like, wow. Like, I'm like, whoa. Like,
mind blown.
Like,
but it's good that your mom telling you what you think, putting you onto them facts.
Yeah.
But I hope he gets a speedy recovery and goes into remission soon.
We don't want Beyonce with breast cancer.
No, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it is October, as you mentioned. You know, wear that pink. Donate. Go out on walks. You gotta be active here.
Yeah.
But so that's all we got for tonight, guys. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter @TheOvalTV, and we will see you next week. Have a fantastic night.